The disciples gathered under the shade of a sprawling tree. Their faces reflected restlessness, burdened by life's relentless demands. The Buddha, serene, observed their unease with gentle compassion. A disciple stepped forward, voicing the group's shared turmoil. A merchant named Ananda once sought wealth in distant lands, Buddha narrated, his tone measured and soothing. Through his ventures, Ananda amassed gold, silver, and jewels, yet his heart remained unfulfilled. The Buddha listened, nodding thoughtfully, and motioned for everyone to sit close. The murmur of the forest became their backdrop. Buddha paused, his eyes steady and calm, conveying compassion. I guided Ananda to reflect on the desires that governed his journey and filled his heart with unease. Desires, when unchecked, become the chains that bind us to suffering, Buddha explained, his voice unwavering but kind. Ananda found clarity through meditation, discovering the emptiness of external possessions. True riches, Buddha continued, lie not in coins or treasures, but in the contentment of self-awareness and inner peace. The disciples nodded, their minds absorbing the profound lesson embedded in the narrative. The path to understanding oneself requires patience and courage, Buddha said, his tone both comforting and resolute. Facing our inner turmoil is the first step to true freedom. Buddha invited the disciples to meditate, leading them into introspection amidst the quiet strength of the forest. Close your eyes, Buddha instructed, and witness the ebb and flow of thoughts like leaves on a stream. As the disciples followed his guidance, their breaths deepened, matching the rhythmic sway of the branches above. Buddha's voice carried them further into their meditative states. When we allow ourselves to be carried by the winds of worry, the Buddha said, our inner stillness eludes us. He paused, letting the weight of his words settle over the group, the air thick with contemplation. Through mindfulness, we can observe without attachment, transforming our perspective and freeing ourselves from suffering, Buddha explained with quiet conviction. His disciples stirred, their expressions reflecting newfound understanding. Your inner journey is the foundation for outer exploration, Buddha asserted, his voice imbued with purpose. Without self-awareness, your steps lead to nowhere. Indeed, the Buddha said, setting the bowl down gently. So why, then, do you cling to perfection in yourself? His question hung in the air, a note of clarity that resonated through the tangled thoughts crowding my mind. The Buddha glanced around, reading the expressions of his followers, and deepened his teaching. The breath, he explained, is a refuge where the restless monkey may finally rest. Self-awareness directs our actions toward harmony and interconnectedness. The forest seemed to echo his wisdom, its tranquility enhancing the sacredness of the moment. Buddha sat still, embodying the calm he imparted. His disciples sat in quiet reflection, immersed in thoughts provoked by his teachings. Let your journey inward be the map for your steps outward, Buddha advised, his voice steady as the earth beneath him. The disciples acknowledged the depth of his guidance. Whenever the monkey wanders, the Buddha continued, gently guide it back, each moment a step toward inner peace. The forest seemed to quieten, the Buddha's words resonating beyond his immediate audience. Each crack tells a story, he said, a tale of use, of service, of being exactly what it was meant to be. He looked at me, his gaze as steady as the earth beneath us. And so it is with you. The forest breathed wisdom, its serenity unbroken by the contemplative group departing beneath its canopy. Another day dawned, the golden light of the sun spilling over a tranquil river winding through the forest. Buddha and his disciples stood by the water, observing its ceaseless flow with quiet reverence. Look at the river, Buddha said, his voice steady and calm. It moves with purpose but embraces the obstacles encountered. His disciples turned their gazes from the water to him, waiting for the wisdom he would impart. Buddha continued, "The river flows toward its destiny, never hesitating, yet it does not resist the rocks within its path." His serene expression reflected the depth of his teachings as the disciples listened intently. "There was once a farmer named Mahesh," Buddha began, setting the stage for a new lesson, "who faced great adversity. The forest fell silent save for the soft murmur of the river as Buddha's voice carried wisdom. Mahesh's fields were parched by a relentless drought, his labor yielding neither crops nor sustenance," Buddha explained with compassion. Frustration overwhelmed him. He sought solutions by cursing his fate and blaming the heavens. Buddha paused, allowing the weight of the tale to settle upon his audience before continuing with calm clarity. "When Mahesh came to me, he carried bitterness, anger, and despair, seeking answers to his misfortunes. I showed Mahesh this very river," Buddha said, gesturing toward the flowing water before them. "I asked him to study its essence." The disciples absorbed the vivid imagery, their eyes reflecting curiosity and contemplation. The teachings would ripple through time, guiding many beyond the confines of the present moment. The story of the restless monkey, now etched in their minds, began its transformative journey. His voice softened, yet the lesson rang clear and undeniable. "Impermanence is the nature of existence," Buddha affirmed. "Just as water adapts, so must we when life's conditions shift." The disciples considered these words, pondering the ways they resisted change in their own lives. From that moment, Mahesh embraced impermanence, Buddha shared, planting seeds of resilience and diversifying his efforts to thrive anew. The restless monkey found its home within stillness, a timeless lesson for the ages. Another day, the disciples gathered again beneath the shade of the Bodhi tree. His disciples nodded, internalizing the profound yet simple truth embedded in the tale. "Purpose gives direction to our lives," Buddha noted, "but adaptability allows us to reach our destination without unnecessary suffering." His gaze swept across the disciples as they digested this vital teaching. "Observe your own obstacles," Buddha urged, "and ask yourselves, are they immovable rocks or opportunities to refine your course?" The disciples exchanged glances, inspired by the challenge to reshape their perspectives. "Conflicts drain us." The Buddha listened intently, his serene gaze inviting the disciple to share further without hesitation or fear of judgment. Buddha gestured toward the river once more, a serene smile softening his features as he elaborated further. "Water teaches us humility. It flows low, yet it is the strongest force, capable of carving even the hardest stone." Likewise, Buddha continued, a mindful traveler embodies humility, accepting each moment as it comes and shaping destiny without aggression. The disciples absorbed this insight, their hearts and minds stirred by his wisdom. "Walking with purpose is not about rigidly pursuing goals," Buddha clarified, but about embracing the path with mindfulness and grace. His words carried both the simplicity and profundity of truth, resonating deeply with his listeners. The disciples exchanged puzzled glances, the significance of the story eluding them for the moment. The Buddha's voice remained steady as he spoke again. "Purpose should be rooted in the greater good," Buddha affirmed, uniting our personal journeys with the well-being of all beings. His disciples nodded, their understanding deepened by his unerring clarity and compassion. "Master," he asked, "how did the farmer achieve such a remarkable feat amidst the difficulties of the journey?" The Buddha's gaze softened as he replied. The farmer's gaze remained fixed forward, unwavering, focused on reaching home despite the rocky terrain. "The path of mindful walking requires balance," Buddha remarked, balancing purpose with presence and intention with adaptability. His disciples reflected on their own journeys, seeking the equilibrium he described. Another disciple, skeptical but seeking guidance, raised his concern. "Master," he said, "what if others provoke us? Their words disturb our focus and ignite our anger. Another day unfolded, and Buddha and his disciples walked on, their footsteps imbued with mindful purpose. The river, a silent companion, continued its endless journey, reflecting the teachings etched within their souls. Another day unfolded, the journey bringing Buddha and his disciples to a bustling village filled with eager faces and stories. Villagers gathered around them, seeking guidance and solace, their eyes reflecting hope and curiosity for wisdom. Among them stood a young mother, her face etched with grief and her child cradled lifelessly in her arms. Her voice trembled as she spoke. "Blessed One, bring my child back to life, for I cannot bear this suffering. We cannot capture the wind, nor stop the flow of the river," the Buddha said, his eyes glinting like sunlight on water, "but we can cherish the moment. Even as it passes," he continued, "for it is in the passing that beauty lives. Go to every house in this village," Buddha said, "and find one where no one has faced loss or grief." The mother, desperate for relief, obeyed his request, setting out with her child to fulfill Buddha's instructions. As she moved from home to home, every family recounted their own stories of loss, heartbreak, and shared suffering. Her understanding grew with every tale she heard, each one softening the edges of her sorrow. The mother returned to Buddha with tear-streaked cheeks and a profound stillness in her expression. "I see now," she said, "that grief binds us all, a thread that connects every heart in this world. Master," he said, "I see now that focusing on gratitude shifts my perspective from despair to possibility." The Buddha nodded, affirming the disciples' growth with an encouraging smile. "Life is impermanent," Buddha continued, "and loss is an inevitable part of existence. But it is not the end." He turned to the crowd, his gaze encompassing each person, his words flowing like a soothing balm. "By accepting impermanence, we can open our hearts to the present moment and cherish every fleeting connection," Buddha explained. The villagers nodded, their minds and hearts opening to his profound wisdom. "Home is not merely the walls that shelter us," Buddha said, "but the harmony we create within and share." His words resonated deeply, inspiring the villagers to look beyond their own struggles and toward a shared community. As the river joins the sea, so must we join together, embracing our shared humanity to transcend suffering, Buddha imparted. The mother felt her heart lighten, her grief no longer isolating but a bridge to understanding others. "Let your lives become acts of kindness and compassion," Buddha urged. As these are the threads that weave the fabric of home. The villagers embraced the teachings, their spirits lifted and united by the common purpose of compassion. The disciples watched intently, learning that every journey, no matter how far, leads back to the interconnectedness of all beings. Buddha addressed them with unwavering clarity. The end of a journey marks the beginning of another. For life is a cycle of growth. Through mindfulness, every step we take becomes sacred, and every connection becomes an opportunity for deeper understanding, Buddha said. The disciples absorbed his wisdom, their own paths illuminated by the lessons of the day. The ultimate destination is not a distant place, Buddha explained, but the enlightenment that blooms within us through mindful living. The village, once heavy with sorrow, now thrived with hope and resilience, a testament to the transformative power of compassion. Another day passed, and Buddha and his disciples prepared to leave the village, their hearts touched by its people. The villagers gathered to bid them farewell, their gratitude evident in their warm smiles and kind gestures. The boy and the disciples who had gathered nearby leaned in, their curiosity piqued by the Buddha's words and actions. Just as it is the emptiness within this bamboo that allows it to create music, the Buddha began, so too must we embrace the emptiness within ourselves. The boy tilted his head, intrigued but unsure, while the disciples exchanged glances, the lesson beginning to unfold in their minds. What do you mean, Master? The boy asked, his young voice earnest, the flute still cradled carefully in his hands. Quote. Thank you for watching. Buddha's teachings are always with you. Subscribe to our channel and we will see you in the next video.